Good afternoon and welcome to the 2020 Economic Recession and Preparation channel. Thank you for joining me. Just want to make a quick video here telling you about the massive employee layoffs that continue to make headlines everywhere, even as the stimulus pandemic bill hangs in the balance, even as over 50 million Americans remain unemployed, just adding to the totals. This is the 23rd straight week of unemployment numbers above 1.1 million, and this is supposed to be a booming economy. Today, two major airlines have announced massive layoffs. American Airlines and Delta Airlines told their employees that the companies plan for massive layoffs in October. According to Forbes.com and other sources, American Airlines will downsize 19,000 jobs, and Delta plans to lay off nearly 2,000 pilots. Now, if you remember back in July, American Airlines made a dire announcement warning 25,000 workers that they may be furloughed or even laid off. This represented 20% of the company's workforce. The airline's message echoed rival United Airlines' somber news of telling around 36,000 employees that they could be furloughed starting October 1st. So October looks to be a really bad month for travel, for airlines, for trains, for the cruise industry, which you know is hemorrhaging money every month and has basically ceased to exist. At this time, Doug Parker and Robert Isom, the respective CEOs and presidents of American and Delta, wrote a memo to their employees about the likelihood of the upcoming layoffs. "We hate taking this step," quote, "as we know the impact it has on our hardworking team members." Although American Airlines received a bailout from the U.S. taxpayers, the company didn't properly prepare for difficult times. Wow, you mean to tell me American Airlines, a multi-billion-dollar revenue company, doesn't have a reserve fund? It allocated around $11.9 billion toward buying back stocks. Hey, that's what they've been doing since 2008 in this phony economy, over the past 5 years, and paid out more than $1 billion in dividends to the stockholders during this same period. Well, the strategy, of course, works well for investors and top CEO executives. They, of course, earn a big chunk of their compensation in stock when things are good, and when the stock price rises in value, so does their little stake in the company. The problem is when bad time arrives. Like right now, we have a depressionary situation going on, and those companies don't have a cash cushion to fall back on. Wow. So now we have a situation where the CEO of American Airlines, he made $11.5 million in total compensation in 2019, and a lot of that money he's pocketed more than $150 million in cash through the sale of his 3.6 million shares in American Airlines. That was from 2014 to 2019. Now, that's in addition to the $50 million stock that he still owns. So that's $100+ million in cash, salary, and bonuses, and deferred comp and stock options, and incredible perks that Mr. Parker has received. Now, Delta has fared a little bit better, with their CEO, Ed Bastian, announced that in January 2020, he was supposed to pay his employees a $1.6 billion bonus. So Delta's employees, all 90,000 of them, supposedly got a bonus. However much, it wasn't a lot, but it was something. So they too fell to the trap of engaging in stock buybacks. So their CEO made $17.2 million in total compensation for 2019. That doesn't include his stock holdings in the company. So the money that they had was spent on bonuses, large compensation packages, and stock buybacks that could have come in handy during this pandemic. And as you know, the airline industry was one of the hardest hit places during this serious financial times. And so when they got the $25 billion, American, Delta Airlines, United, these airlines got $25 billion bailout from the government, as you know, from the first stimulus package, while we got $1,200. In the deal, it states that they're required to retain their employees to at least September 30th. Well, guess what? Starting October 1st, you're gone, buddy. You're out the door. You're laid off. And this includes higher up people like pilots. I was walking in the airport, a very prominent, busy airport, and I was talking to a pilot, and they're actually looking for hop flights. They're hopping from town, deadhead flights. They're deadheading to a lot of different cities to pick up flights because it's that slow. And he confirmed it that yes, October the 1st will be some people's last day, or they will get bought out into retirement, as Delta will no longer be paying some of these upper senior pilots and things of that nature, and let alone the flight attendants and other Delta staff, the gate agents, etc., etc. The outlook for air travel is uncertain. It is very uncertain. As a matter of fact, on MSNBC, the reporter said that it might take 10 years to recover from this, to get back to full traffic, air traffic in the skies again. It's an eerie feeling at all of these major busy airports like Atlanta Hartsfield, and Chicago O'Hare, and LAX, and Dallas Fort Worth. It is an eerie sight to see half the gates empty. And now we must go on to Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola says layoffs and buyouts are imminent as part of their, quote, restructuring. They appear to be going broke. As you know, Warren Buffett is an investor in Coca-Cola, but it plans to buy out approximately 4,000 employees, or 37% of its North American workforce. Now, they claim that they want to streamline their beverage business. They said that the reorganization will allow the reallocating jobs and resources, including voluntary and involuntary reductions in employees. The company said it will offer a separation package to eligible employees that includes, quote, enhanced benefits. And the changes are part of the larger plan by Coca-Cola to consolidate its business, to make it more nimble and connected. In other words, they're getting ready to replace the employees with automated robots and change up their factory, just as Walmart has done. If you go into Walmart, you notice that there's all kind of, instead of having people clean the aisles, they're having robots going down the aisle and clean the aisles. And they even say, the robots will tell you, excuse me, move out the way, I'm cleaning the aisle. Now the robots talk to you. They gotten rid of Walmart, super Walmarts have gotten rid of the greeters at the door that say, hi, welcome to Walmart. You notice that. They even gotten rid of half of the store cashiers and everything else. It's all automated self thing. So this is what Coca-Cola is going to do. They're bringing out changes in the operational model and laying off 4,000 employees in North America. Coca-Cola employs about 86,000 people globally, so including about 10,800 in the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. And including its bottling partners, the company employs more than 700,000 people. The company said that the voluntary programs, which they expect will reduce the number of layoffs required, it will cost approximately $350 to $550 million. So you see, they're struggling too. Retail in the whole is struggling. And MGM Resorts lays off 18,000 previously furloughed employees. Their employees were furloughed as a result of the pandemic since February. Now they tell them today that it's separation letters. It's over. You're done. The casino plans to keep recalling other workers, additional workers, contract workers, if they open up further. They will continue to offer health benefits to laid off employees to September 30th. So this October is going to be absolutely nightmarish. We're not even counting the inflation, hyperinflation that we're seeing now that's going to even ramp up. Neither are we counting the housing crash that's going to rise up. So we have all of these employees. Layoffs are still happening in every industry, from retail, hotels, transportation, and not just the service sector, but these white-collar jobs like pilots, office workers are being laid off. And now, next up, there's talk on the street that the insurance agencies are going to be firing or laying off people because of the natural disasters. Remember now, we have fires in California. We had a hurricane that just hit last week, Hurricane Laura, that hit the Louisiana coast and the oil and gas platform. So insurance companies are going to be suffering a lot of losses. And the peak of the hurricane season does not begin until September 10th to October 10th. And so we are in for a long, long fall and winter. And by 2021, this thing will have totally collapsed. And Americans are going to look up and see, how did we get here? What happened? I thought everything was good because my stock was up. My 401k, my TSP was up. I thought things were good. It was all a facade. Behind the scenes, companies are getting ready to restructure, and the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. So prepare now. Continue. I just wanted to bring you this update today. And take care. Be blessed. And I will talk to you very soon.